Prince William has publicly spoken about the family difficulties faced by King Charles III and Queen Camilla. The year 2024 brings new rumors and disagreements, prompting Prince William to make an official statement.
King Charles III and Queen Camilla have split. Prince William accidentally let that bombshell drop. Now there's urgent buzz that King Charles might be seriously sick, deepening the mystery of their split. Did Camilla walk out because of his illness? Or did Charles decide it was over? Their romance has always been full of twists, starting in the 1970s when Camilla was seen as too controversial for royal standards. What shocking truths are still hidden? Let's uncover the real story behind this urgent royal drama. Secrets of a shattered marriage. Prince William recently let slip some surprising news about the royal family. While talking about something that seemed unimportant, he accidentally revealed that King Charles III and Queen Camilla have separated. Yes, the future king mentioned something he probably shouldn't have. So what exactly did Prince William say? As Prince William spoke, the room fell silent. Yes, he said quietly, they have separated, but there's more. There are growing concerns about King Charles's health, with some saying he might be dealing with a serious illness. So what's really going on? Did she leave during this tough time? Or did Charles decide to end their relationship? We need to find out. To understand this better, let's go back to where it all started. In the early 1970s, Prince Charles met her. They were immediately attracted to each other. However, there was a problem. She didn't fit the royal family's expectations for a princess. She was older, had a past, and didn't quite fit the royal image. So what did Charles do? He joined the Royal Navy, and while he was away, she got engaged to someone else, Andrew Parker Bowles. But this wasn't the end of their story. Even after she married Andrew in 1973, she stayed close to Charles, which would cause problems later on. In 1980, a new person came into the picture, Lady Diana Spencer. She was young, shy, and seemed like the perfect match for the future king. She was beautiful, noble, and just 19 years old. Their wedding in 1981 was like a fairy tale, watched by people all over the world as Diana became the Princess of Wales. But the reality was very different from the public image. Even before they got married, Diana was worried about Charles's relationship with her. Things got worse when Diana found out about a bracelet Charles had made for her, engraved with their private nicknames, Fred and Gladys. After learning about the bracelet, Diana confronted Charles, but he brushed off her concerns, and they went ahead with the wedding. When Charles married the most admired woman in the world, you might think he would be thrilled. But that wasn't the case at all. From the start, their marriage was filled with problems. Charles couldn't let go of his feelings for her, and Diana soon realized that she wasn't the only woman in his life. At first, the public didn't notice, as they were too charmed by Diana's grace and charm. But soon after the wedding, rumors of trouble started spreading. While everyone was fascinated by Diana, they also began to notice how distant and cold Charles seemed. Things got even worse in 1993 when the Camilla Gate tapes came out. These recordings captured a very inappropriate conversation between Charles and her, revealing just how deep the scandal in their marriage ran. By 1992, it was clear that their marriage was falling apart. It was only a marriage in name by then. That same year, they officially separated, and shocking details began to emerge. In a 1995 interview, Diana openly said that there were 3 people in the marriage, not 2. This confession stunned everyone, although many had already suspected as much. And then there was the moment everyone remembers, Diana's famous revenge dress. The night Charles admitted his affair on TV, Diana stepped out in a stunning black dress, bold and off the shoulder, showing the world her newfound independence. After a tough divorce, more heartache is just around the corner. Diana's final days. Their divorce was finalized in 1996, ending one of the most talked about marriages of the time. Diana kept her title as the Princess of Wales. But the royal family dynamics had changed forever. The public felt deep sympathy for Diana, seeing her as the wronged party, while Charles and she were viewed as the villains. Even with all this turmoil, Diana remained a devoted mother to her sons, William and Harry. But then something even more heartbreaking happened. Diana died in a car crash in Paris on August 31st, 1997. The world was in shock, mourning the loss of a beloved princess. People gathered for candlelit vigils and laid mountains of flowers to honor the people's princess. But questions quickly arose. Was her death really an accident, or was there something more behind it? The theories and debates continued, showing just how much Diana was loved and how much she was missed. Many people blamed different individuals, from photographers to the royal family, for the tragic events surrounding Princess Diana. Even today, the details of what exactly happened are still discussed. After Princess Diana passed away, it seemed that Prince Charles and she could finally be together without hiding, free from the controversy. But their newfound freedom wasn't as simple as they had hoped. At first, Charles and she were very cautious about how often they appeared in public. Many still blamed her for Diana's marital troubles, and they weren't happy about seeing her with Charles. Over time, Charles and she started showing up together more often at various events, slowly trying to change the public's view of them. In 1999, they made headlines when they attended a big party together at the Ritz Hotel in London. This event made it clear that Prince Charles was serious about her, despite the ongoing controversy. The couple got married in 2005 in a small ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, a sharp contrast to the grand royal weddings of the past. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip did not attend the wedding, but did come to the blessing afterward at St. George's Chapel. This showed that while the Queen accepted the marriage, she still had some reservations. This marriage was a big step for Charles and her, helping them gain more acceptance from the royal family and the public. After the wedding, they moved into Clarence House, which was previously the home of the Queen Mother. She was given the title Duchess of Cornwall. As the years went by, people's opinion of her started to change. She was no longer just seen as the other woman. Instead, she became recognized as a loyal partner to Charles and an active member of the royal family. Even though she chose not to use the title of Princess of Wales out of respect for Diana, she slowly found her place within the royal family. Things seemed to be going smoothly until a moment when Prince William spoke out about his father, King Charles, and Camilla, catching many off guard. But what exactly did he say? This is a significant question because both Prince William and Prince Harry have always been vocal about their deep respect and love for their mother, whose kindness and grounding presence deeply influenced their childhood. The brothers face new tests as they try to honor their mother. Royal tensions unveiled. The brothers were deeply committed to honoring their mother's legacy, living by her values even after her tragic death. Their bond with Diana was incredibly strong, and it's well known that losing her had a profound impact on both of them. However, the situation with the now Queen added some complications to their lives. William and Harry had to navigate their feelings toward the woman who played a significant role in their parents' separation. This wasn't easy for them, especially given how much they loved their mother. But over time, they managed to develop a civil relationship with her, all while continuing to honor Diana's memory. For William, who is next in line for the throne, it was particularly tough to balance celebrating his mother's memory while also accepting his father's remarriage. But the challenges didn't stop there. Recently, new issues have emerged around Prince William that go beyond just his relationship with her. The British media has been scrutinizing William's finances, noting a lack of transparency. Reports say Prince William earned 28 million euros last year from his real estate holdings, but there hasn't been much said about his tax contributions. Unlike his father, who has been open about his taxes, William's silence on the matter has raised some eyebrows. The media, always quick to jump on a royal scandal, has been particularly critical of William, questioning why he's been reluctant to share details about his finances. This has sparked heated debates about the responsibilities of the monarchy and whether William is living up to the high standards expected of a future king. But that's not the only controversy. It's also been revealed that King Charles III is paying a large rent to live at Highgrove House, a property now owned by William. This revelation is especially surprising given that Charles, known for his strong stance on environmental sustainability, has recently hired a new gardener to make sure the gardens at Highgrove remain fully eco-friendly. Now, people are left wondering about the complicated and possibly strained relationship between father and son. Is this financial arrangement just typical royal behavior, or is there something more going on? What's really catching people's attention is what Prince William recently said in an interview. He talked about his father, King Charles III, mentioning that Charles seems more comfortable living alone, especially since he's been feeling under the weather. At first, this might seem like an innocent comment, but the timing has raised some eyebrows, especially with all the rumors about how Charles and her marriage is going. It's hard to ignore that William's comment seems to suggest that Charles might be enjoying his time alone more than expected, possibly without her. The idea that Charles is finding peace in solitude without his wife has fueled a lot of speculation about potential issues between them. Was William subtly criticizing Queen, or is he just worried about his father's health? Either way, his comment has surprised many. Some are wondering if William's words were carefully chosen to hint that there's more going on behind the palace walls than we realize. This wouldn't be the first time that the royal family's private matters have spilled into the public eye. And this isn't the only issue they're facing right now. What else could they be keeping from the public? The British royal family has always been surrounded by controversy, and it seems like 2024 is no different. The royal family meets new challenges this year, behind the palace gates. One of the biggest topics this year is about Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, who disappeared from the public eye after a planned abdominal surgery in January. Kensington Palace shared very little information, leaving everyone wondering what was going on. This lack of details has led to all sorts of speculations and strange stories. Some people even claim that the Princess of Wales had passed away, suggesting that the photos being shared were computer-generated. But then Princess Kate reappeared in an online video where she explained that she was being treated for cancer. Unlike his father, King Charles, who openly shares his tax records, William has chosen not to, which has caught the attention of the British media. This has sparked a bigger conversation about what the monarchy should be responsible for, especially when it comes to financial transparency. People are beginning to wonder if Prince William can effectively lead as king after his father, given his seemingly relaxed approach to his duties even before taking the throne. Meanwhile, Prince Harry continues to make headlines from the US. His ongoing legal battles with the British media over privacy and phone tapping issues keep him in the public eye. Even though he stepped back from royal duties, Harry has been vocal in his criticism of the press, blaming them for the aggressive tactics that he believes contributed to his mother, Princess Diana's tragic death. But that's not the most shocking news. Early in 2024, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles III had been diagnosed with cancer. After this shocking revelation, the palace has remained silent about the specifics, like the type and severity of his illness. This has led to growing concern and endless guessing among both the public and the media. Despite his health issues, King Charles continues to carry out his royal duties, though he does so mostly out of the public eye. This low-key approach has only raised more questions about his health, especially since he is often seen living alone at Highgrove House without Queen by his side. What's even more surprising is that plans for King Charles's funeral are already in motion. While it might sound unsettling, this is actually common practice among the royals. Known as Operation Menai Bridge, the detailed planning of the king's funeral began on September 21, 2022. Just one day after Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral. By 2024, every aspect has been carefully planned, from the route the coffin will take to the guest list and the period of national mourning. This plan shows how the royal family always prepares for big events well in advance. The fact that such a plan exists highlights concerns about the king's health. If his health is indeed declining, as some believe, the thoroughness of these preparations might suggest that the palace is getting ready for something serious. Many people are curious about why King Charles and Queen Camilla sometimes don't live together, especially during difficult times. Over the years, there have been rumors about their relationship and their involvement in past family issues, particularly those related to Princess Diana. Some think these old memories might make it hard for them to stay together all the time. Life behind palace doors is full of surprises, the royals' unseen living arrangements. But the truth is, the reason they sometimes live apart is quite simple and has nothing to do with their past. Like some older couples, especially those who are wealthy, they maintain separate homes. This isn't unusual among royals. For example, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip had separate bedrooms for many years, mainly for practical reasons like different sleep schedules and personal habits. King Charles has a place called Highgrove Estate, and she has Ray Mill House. They started living this way long before they were married and have continued this arrangement. These homes allow them to be close to the things they love, like her stables and Charles's gardens. Even when they are in London, they manage their space in a thoughtful way. They have separate bedrooms but share a third one when they want to. This arrangement at Clarence House helps them balance their life together and their need for personal space. But this isn't a sign of any trouble between them. They are often seen together at public events, showing they are a strong team. They attend ceremonies and meet people all over the country. After these events, they return to their separate homes, not because they want to be apart, but because they appreciate their own space. This also helps them stay focused on their personal interests and responsibilities. So while it might seem odd to some that they aren't always together, it's really about their comfort and having the space each prefers. This way of living might be different from what many people are used to, but it works well for them, allowing them to support each other and fulfill their roles effectively. Now imagine if King Charles and she were to separate or even divorce. It would create a huge disruption, not just emotionally, but also practically. A divorce at this point would be scandalous, shaking the monarchy like nothing since Charles and Diana's separation. If they did part ways, it would bring up big questions about titles, finances, and living arrangements. For instance, she might lose her title as Queen Consort. Would she continue to attend royal events? Or would she quietly step out of the public eye? And what about the estates, the jewels, and other royal privileges? Sorting all of this out would be a complicated and chaotic process. The media would be all over it, with the public watching closely. To understand what could happen, let's look at some past royal breakups. Remember King Edward VIII? In 1936, he gave up his crown to marry Wallis Simpson, an American woman who had been married before. This decision threw the royal family into chaos and led to a change in the line of succession. It showed that royal marriages aren't just about love, they're also about duty, tradition, and keeping the monarchy strong. Their separation in 1996 shook the royal family, bringing private scandals into the public spotlight, like affairs and bitter interviews. After Diana's tragic death in 1997, people began to scrutinize Charles and her even more closely. It took many years for the public to start accepting her, and even now, not everyone does. If Charles and she were to separate today, it could reopen old wounds, leading people to question the role of the monarchy once again. You might think that, given their past experiences, the royal family would be experts at handling these kinds of crises by now. King Edward's abdication taught us that the monarchy needs to show strength and keep the public on its side. The drama with Charles and Diana reminded us that airing private matters in public can hurt everyone involved. What do you think? Is the monarchy still relevant in today's world? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more insights.